Look what I got. Do you know what this is? This is a 40 millimeter Summicron C Cine lens. And this is a little bit of an offshoot, and I thought you might like to learn a little bit about something else that Leica does. I'm sitting here with Rainer, and I'm going to not butcher your last name. Hopefully you can tell me. So it's Rainer?
It's Rainer Hercher.
There you go. Repeat that.
Please.
So we just had the marvelous experience of going through and learning how these beautiful lenses are made. And Leica started and really got into this field back in when?
Around 2006, 2008, they were already in the development. But to really get the lenses ready and have lenses on the market, we started shipping in more 2011.
2011. Now, there's a story behind these cinema lenses, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but was there a rental house or some studio somewhere that just said, oh, we know Dr. Kaufman, we can make a Leica lens?
Yeah, there certainly is, because Leica lenses have been used many, many times already before in Cine productions. People used R lenses or rehoused R lenses, so the Leica glass was always really most wanted. And a lot of people always said to Leica, why don't you do a proper Cine glass? And then there's a rental house, Otto Nemens International, which is based out in LA. It's a very successful rental house, which has been a long time on the market. And they came with this approach to address it to Dr. Kaufman and said, we really should do more about this and should do a proper lens. And we have a lot of experience on the market. We know what the market wants. And together with your brilliant engineers and designers, it should be a real fantastic story. And that's how it started. And that's what it still is, a fantastic story.
It really is, and you'll see a little bit of that. But now in 2014, Leica won an Academy Award for technical, was it excellence?
Yes.
With this lens, or not this lens in particular,
No.
but the Cine lens.
With the Cine lenses, we got that for the Summilux-C lenses. It was a full series of the T1.4 called Summilux-C, and there we got very proudly the technical award.
Now, these things, you have to visit the factory like we did, and you can take a look at what it takes to put these together. From the assembly of the blades in the aperture, and the aperture actually closes down completely closed.
With that one, yes.
And it's so round when it opens, and the way it blurs the background, it's something to behold. But it's the craftsmanship also, the scale. When they do the scale, it's so accurate, and it's a 270 degree,
270 degrees, yes.
270 degree turn rather than like 70 or 90, which some of the other lenses are. So the scaling on this is just absolutely phenomenal, and it's individual for each lens.
Yes, for the Summilux series, that's correct. Because for the operator on set, which is the focus puller, also called AC, the first AC, a lot of them really rely on the numbers they see there. So this needs to be 100% accurate. There can't be no mistake in there. That's why it's very important for any lens manufacturer to have this completely on point.
I can't describe the smoothness. Now the f-stops also are not clickable, as you can imagine. So they're marked on the scale in 1/3 increments.
Yes.
The mount is put together. Look at all the screws that hold this lens mount to the lens, which then to the camera. And some of the lenses they make are extremely heavy.
Yes, you need to have, this is the so-called PL mount, which needs to take a lot of pressure, because you also have some larger lenses, but what you also have is when you have the lens, the focus is normally operated by small motors. Yep. And these motors have a very heavy torque because they have to run super fast from one end to the other. And so there's a lot of tension on the lens. And the system, because if you have problem with the backslash, you have massive problems. So this needs to be a system that doesn't move a thing. That's why the PL mount is super rugged, so you can also operate it in any kind of temperature, because it's also big to change a lens. It doesn't lock. So you don't want to have a lock mechanism, you just turn it around and that's it. Oh. And that is very important for the business, because the most important thing on a set is always time. And so if they have to change a lens on a set, if the director of photography, once they use a different lens, they need to change the lens within 5 seconds. That's why it is important that the thing is also so smooth, so it slips in and out of the mount really easy. And it needs to be completely precise, because if you just go with a little bit away, your back focus is off and then you don't have any focus and it's not usable, and that's a huge damage.
Now, we've watched and had the chance to see not only how the lenses were put together, but how they're tested. And you've got a projection room, and they got this very precise projector, and the lens gets mounted on it, and they measure the light coming out, and then it goes onto this screen, and you can walk up to the screen, and it is so tack sharp that you just can't believe what you're seeing, all the way to what we were looking sometimes at 140 and 200 lines.
Oh, yes.
Just from corner to corner and center. It's just incredible, the resolution that this lens makes. Now, you're the sales director, and it's a small company. There's only, what, 41 people or 70?
Altogether, we are around 50 people.
Around 50 people making these lenses that are the finest lenses in cinematography today. And unlike cameras where we just buy them and put our own lenses, you don't really sell them to, this is not you're selling to photographers, you're selling primarily to rental houses. And
it's mainly rental houses, sometimes some agencies or production companies, but it's mainly rental houses. You have to see that you always use this in a set. It's very rarely that there are some specialists who can do a movie with just one lens, but these are really individualists. You don't have them so often. Normally you have a set, the minimum set is normally 6 lenses, but on big production you can also have 12, 13, 14 lenses. Because
times the number
you
of
don't
cameras.
move, normally you don't move the camera,
Yep.
you swap the lens to get your frame. And so you talk quite about a large investment as well. And therefore, that's why when you just mentioned the lens projector, that's also in every good rental house you find the lens projector as well, because before a lens goes out, you check if all the parameters are right, if the lens is fine. And when the lens comes back from a shoot, the easiest way, I mean, of course, you look for outer damage and scratches and dust or dirt, but to see if the lens really had a strong hit or knock, you just put it on the projector, and if something is wrong with the lens, a good expert sees that within a second.
Oh, I can imagine what the budget must be to get a set of lenses, not to mention a camera, and then have multiple cameras. Anyway, I want to thank you very much, Rainer. We could probably talk all day about this. This is absolutely fascinating. These lenses are so well engineered. You've got to see them to appreciate them. So if you ever stumble upon some place where you can look and hold them, and just the feel is so solid. I mean, it's just a beautiful lens. I want to thank you very much for the time.
Thank you as well for coming by.
You showed us some amazing things this afternoon, and it was very nice of you to open the doors for us. I appreciate it very much.
It was a pleasure.
Good
Thanks
luck.
for coming
I can't
by.
wait to come by when you have 200 employees and you still have a back order of lenses.
Working on that. We will. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And everybody, thank you, and I'll see you on the Luminous Landscape.